This video will be for my British people, so if you are from the US, I recommend you watching the best early Black Friday deals for gaming PCs for the US in the top right of the screen. And if you are from the UK, this video will be for you. I will show you 3 different systems for 3 different budgets, the first one being the cheapest and the last one being the more expensive one. However, if your budget is not on this video, I will leave different gaming PCs for the UK as well for different budgets down below in the video description, so make sure to check it out and also to check the availability and pricing of these gaming PCs that I'm about to mention. That being said, let's start. With the first one and the cheapest one, we have the AIDA Bold gaming desktop. This one has the Ryzen 5 4500, which is a decent CPU. It's not going to be the best, but it's not going to be the worst. And then you have the RTX 2060 6 gigs of VRAM graphics card alongside 16 gigs of RAM at 3200 MHz DDR4 memory, which is the standard for gaming. And then you also have 500 gigs of SSD and a 550 watt 80 plus bronze power supply. Overall, this PC is really decent for 1080p gaming to get you started. So if you want your first gaming desktop or you want to replace an old one for £700, I think that it's a good deal. However, if you build it yourself, it's going to be cheaper and better. This system will be able to run every single game at 60 plus FPS on average, 1080p resolution depending on the settings and depending on the game, but for the most part 60 FPS will be the minimum, and for esports titles you will be able to run this at above 144 FPS. So if you want a 1080p 144Hz monitor, feel free to buy this PC, or if you don't have the monitor, feel free to buy the monitor alongside this gaming desktop. The only thing here is the storage. You get 500 gigs of SSD, and this might not be enough for you depending on how many games you want to install. So if you're going to download a bunch of games, I do recommend you upgrading this down the line if you don't have the budget to do it right now. It's pretty easy, don't worry about it. Then with the second PC, and I think that this one is a much better deal, we have another one from AIDA, but this time it has the Ryzen 5 5600X alongside the Asus RTX 3060 dual graphics card, 16 gigs of RAM, a 240 gig SSD and 2 TB of hard drive. You also get the Asus TUF K1 keyboard and the TUF M3 RGB mouse, which is a nice detail in case you don't have a mouse and a keyboard. This PC is £1200, so it's not going to be cheap, but it's a really good 1080p/1440p gaming desktop. The 3060 is pretty capable of 1440p as well, but it's more of a 1080p GPU, so if you have a 1080p monitor and you want the highest FPS, I think that this one is the best PC that you can get, because of course you can get a better system with, let's say, a 3070, but it wouldn't make sense for you to spend all that money for a 1080p gaming experience, because the RTX 3060 and the 5600X is going to be a great pair for that resolution. You also get great airflow, much better than the last PC, so overall you get good quality components, which is really important on a Prebuilt PC. With this PC, you will be able to take advantage of a 240Hz monitor at 1080p resolution, or a 1440p 60Hz or 144Hz monitor if you play esports titles. Now, if you want to play at 1440p, games like Cyberpunk, ultra settings, not going to be the best one, and you're looking to upgrade the GPU or buying another PC. And that's why I picked this one as my number one. It's £1,825, going to be expensive, and we're talking about a Cyberpower PC from Amazon. This one has the i9 11900KF alongside the RTX 3080, and this graphics card is going to be able to play those type of games, Cyberpunk 2077 and games like that, ultra settings, 1440p without any issues, and even 4K for most games, but for those type of games, Cyberpunk 2077 4K, it's really hard to run at 60 plus FPS on average, so keep that in mind. But if you want a gaming desktop that is going to be great for both 1440p and 4K, this one is going to be the best option for you, even though it's going to be expensive. The airflow, once again, is going to be great. However, I do not love the cooling system. I would upgrade the CPU cooler to at least a 240 liquid cooler, considering you have the i9 11900KF. You will have it down below in the video description as well, for you to replace it down the line if your budget doesn't allow right now. But that is the only thing that I don't like about this system, and considering the Prebuilt PC market is much more expensive on the UK than it is on the US, guess £1,825 is not going to be terrible for this type of PC. And I've seen reviews where people say that this PC runs cool, which I don't really get it because the cooling system is not great, but if it runs cool as well, then you don't even have to upgrade the CPU cooler and you can save a couple bucks. So those are my main 3 gaming PCs for the UK. Like I said before, the first one is for 1080p budget gaming, the second one is for 1080p / starting 1440p, and the last one is for 1440p and 4K gaming. But like I said before, if your budget, let's say it's £1,500, then you will have one PC for that budget in the video description, and if your budget, let's say it's more than 2,000, you will have that as well. I just didn't want to make this video too long. And if you got value out of this video, leave a like and subscribe, but most importantly hit that bell button because I upload this type of content from 3 to 5 times a week. And if you have any questions, please let me know in the comment section and I will try to reply as fast as possible. Thank you guys for watching, thank you for your support, and I will see you on the next one.